All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I am doing a new sector here looking at the AI stocks. Clearly, there was a really good run in January, like most of the tech sector, but these actually did really well in February, while most of them being other stocks, kind of teetered off around early February. So definitely a real nice run and what might be a continuation. So I'll get to the details shortly. Real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. This is the first time making this video, so I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, real quick, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. Nonetheless, I sincerely appreciate your time, okay? And then if you disagree with anything, please let me know in the comments, all right? I am not all-knowing, and I would much rather you tell me in the comments than watch my money go down the toilet. You know what I mean? So with that, let's get into the details, okay? And look, you often hear me say it, right? Things go horizontal before they either go up or down, right? Especially after coming off of what was a pretty big downtrend, right? I mean, looks like it tried to go horizontal a little bit here too, but clearly monster things are happening. And why? Why is it happening? Because the break of the 200, right? I always say it, if you can get over all of them, beautiful things happen. And I mean, really, even if you waited just for this, it basically doubled. It went from roughly 15 to 30, right? So that is as beautiful as it gets, especially given the kind of bearish market we're overall in, right? So, now, look, I talked about the fact that it looks like there's a bit of a recovery, right? So let's just kind of jump into it. Right here, we lose the 8 moving average. And you know rule number 1, if you watch these videos, is stay over the 8, right? The rule 1.5 is stay over the 8 and the 20, right? And look, it doesn't necessarily touch it, but you can see that this is roughly a good support line 20 right there, right? I mean, there was a lot of reason this thing could have kept falling, right? But instead, this line does what it does, right? And look, it's why I say it. Sometimes it's just so hard to get over it, right? There's other examples where it's just so, that wasn't a good one, but you get it. It's hard to get over it, and then when you're over it, it should be hard to get under it. You know what I mean? So I like that we bounced. We couldn't quite get over the 8, kind of came back, and look, all we're really doing is riding the 8, right? What do I care about? I care about getting over this candle. Let me raise it just a little bit more. Yeah, that's about right. If we can get over this big boy, I'm happy with that. I didn't use the top of this because really this was the confirmation candle that never happened, right? So if you can get over that, I'm real happy. By no means do I think it's going to come this low because look at how many moving averages there are, right? But I'll at least put a line down here just to have an underneath, right? And then I'll zoom out into the weekly to see what else we should be drawing. But yeah, this could be a very good entry point. And I'll be honest, I'm going to go ahead and set an alert for 25.86. Give me 2 cents over that, excuse me, and I'll be real happy. And I imagine 86 will probably put me over this one as well. Oh, wow, that's a lot higher than I expected. That's at 26. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me get a couple cents over there. That'll probably take me to that line up there, which was in the 26s, we said. Yeah, 26.19. After 26.19, it'll be even better, actually. So let me see what the weekly is showing. Yeah, look at that. Because even on the weekly, the next place it looks like we want to go is up here, roughly speaking, the 100 moving average, right? And then if this passes, we're going to want to come to basically right here, right? So cool. Yeah, I guess I can draw this because I don't know. I don't think we're going to have anything on the daily. So I'll put, those are the 3 lines up. And then let me just zoom out and see what it looks like here. Yeah, I like that because that basically hits that plateau right there, and then that hits that plateau right there. I love it. And then look, this gap right here, nothing but red, right? So I love those 3 lines a lot, actually. And then again, this line right here is clearly the bottom, but look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 moving averages in the way, and then this should probably save it too, but again, just a little too close to the 100 to put it. But yeah, what I'm essentially looking for right now is we go up. We've used this 20 to bounce. Couldn't quite do it, but you know what? Let's finish it off with the 8 and go on up, okay? Look, this RSI, on this day, the RSI got to 96. You see it in the box over there on the left, right? Then it goes to 79 and then 85, 86, 87. It's literally living up here, right? I often say if the RSI crosses 80, you're gonna need a cool down, right? And hey, we've at least come from the 80, 90 range down to 60-ish range, right? That could definitely go on up from 60 to 80 and give us a nice little run at least to that first line, right? Which is around, I think, 34, right? So, yeah, I'm definitely real interested if it crosses this line. Obviously, what's going to be bad is if we can't cross this, it's really important that we don't lose the 20, okay? The 20 will probably still come up a bit, but yeah, if we lose the 20, I imagine the 50 would cross over the 20 by the time that happens, but yeah, it really, really, really shouldn't go any lower than 16, you know what I mean? So I would be very, very worried if it does, but I can't imagine that happening in the next week. So let's see what real quick, I didn't mention them much, right? But the RSI I talked about needing a cool down. Hey, this thing had a nice uptrend and is definitely going horizontal. Kind of looks like it's flattening, but again, a good little recovery and a break of this line will definitely help it go back up. And then volume clearly has spiked down, right? But look at what it used to be. Even with this like moderate mixed, it's still significantly better than this thing was seeing for the longest time, right? So the chat GPS, I haven't used GPT, I don't know what the letters are, but that was definitely the hype right here. And yeah, though the hype is dropping, I mean, significantly, let's not lie to ourselves, right? We go from 100 million down to like 15, right? We're still substantially better. And in some ways, I am okay with that. You know what I mean? Look, this is a good weekly chart, okay? We definitely break the 50. We definitely get good confirmation too. So this right here is a little bit of a surprise. But how high did that weekly RSI get? I mean, 75, especially on the weekly, is pretty high. And you can see that was actually historically one of the higher numbers that this thing has seen. It actually passed the 71 from August of last year, right? So in some ways, as surprising as this is, because good break, good confirmation should mean go on up. Look, as I zoom out, you can see it's the first hit of the 100 as well, right? So not that surprising, I will say that. Look, this candle right here at least held more than 50%. I'm real cool with that. Did we actually stay over that as well? Oh man, it's almost to the penny. So this closed at 22.81. What did this close at? 22.99. I'll take it. So it actually does stay over this. And then this is clearly a doji. I'm not going to say this counts, but hey, I'm glad that we go from closing here to closing here. It's at least working its way back up. I wish we were a little closer to 50% candle. Obviously, I wish we overtook this candle, but I think this doji is actually okay because it's basically saying, look, give the next week the real answer. And hey, I'm still seeing this 8 looking like it wants to go up. I'm seeing this 20 looking like it wants to go up. I'm telling you, being under these lines for weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks is horrible. But imagine what it'll look like if we're over these lines for weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks, right? So I'm still actually really happy. And again, this is the magic line right here for sure, for sure. Let me just look at the monthly. There can't be much of a monthly. Oh, man, look at this and look at that. It literally, look, I do not pre-make these videos, okay? I don't practice them to like get the lines right. I think you know that if you watch these, but I mean, it looks, I mean, I was off by a penny. This line is literally the 20 on the monthly. So I think that just adds so much to that. So love it. I love it when my lines add up. Okay. I'm telling you when one signals the other being correct. So I think that's a pretty good run on AI. So I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure if PLTR really falls into this world, but I've actually always wanted to cover this one and just none of the sectors fit. And if you look right there, it says technology sector. Right here on AI, it's just that they have different like technology sectors, right? So in some ways, I do kind of think I'm forcing putting this one in, but I know a lot of people look at PLTR. So in some ways, I'm happy to throw it in. Look, it's all about the 200 moving average right now, right? Clearly the same good run that we saw in most tech stocks, and literally the opposite of what I was saying on AI, right? AI actually kept going while most kind of had this kind of cool off or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, AI stocks kind of kept going up while the rest of tech went down. Nonetheless, this is a very healthy cool down, right? And why? Let me tell you why. It definitely tries to break the 200, and clearly we do get one candle over it. But if you watch my videos, you know I don't care about a single day. I actually care about confirmation, and I'll get to that shortly right there. But not having the second candle obviously means this 200 break was not real. From there we come down, but look, the 20 and the 100 catch us, right? I'll be honest, I think if the 100 wasn't here, the 20 might have been able to do it by itself. I don't know, I don't want to say that. There's no reason to even guess that, right? But basically I say it often, at least, right? It's hard to break two. It's definitely hard to lose two as well, right? So we get a beautiful bounce with a good confirmation right there. How high was that RSI? 73. That's actually not much of a reason to. I'll make some lines. I'll see if there's any lines that, would have warranted why it came down. Because I'll be honest, yeah, that probably would have fooled me if you want to know the truth. Knock on wood, I'm real, and maybe this had something to do with earnings. I'll throw that out there. I actually don't know if there was any earnings info on this. I would love for you to tell me, please. Throw that in the comments. But yeah, technically, there's not a lot of you see, when you can't find it on the daily, you zoom out and you see it on the weekly. Look, as beautiful as a week it was, this is the first time we're touching the 50. Okay. Again, it might have been earnings. It might not have been. I still get the technical the reasons, right? So, excuse me. I love it. Really cool, actually. So again, this definitely would have fooled most. Hopefully, if you watch my videos, you know to zoom out and you would have seen the 50, right? So, but look, where are we? That's a real nice MACD. That's a real nice RSI. That's some badass volume right there. Sorry to curse, I try not to, right? But there's a couple things I'm looking for sure right now, okay? First and foremost, by Friday, it's obviously going to take, this was an addition of the whole week's trading, right? And look, we're actually 1 day short. Today is Monday and there is no trading, right? So in 4 days, I would love to at least capture roughly 80%, right? 4 out of the 5 is 80%. If we can hit that, hey, we've at least literally covered volume to volume. Maybe I'll be a little more comfortable with 50% than I normally am, because again, it's one less day. But if we can close by Friday at around 300 million volume, that's key. I really will say that. Obviously, I want some good confirmation. What does this line give us? And look, that's actually where it wicked. You see that? Man, I think I'm gonna draw. This is from July though. I think it's a little too far to draw. I'm only gonna draw that and not get things. I don't want to make it too liney. I think I will draw that one for sure though. This one for sure will draw. Okay, cool. I think those are two good lines up. I'll at least draw this one because it is for sure very important to know where it is. Again, look, this is a good bullish weekly chart. All right. The daily, though it kind of looks like it's working its way down, I mean, hopefully this 8 is where we bounce. Otherwise, there really shouldn't be much of a reason to believe this is going to go any lower than 820, because I'm assuming, at least, obviously I don't know, right? But this should go above it, and hopefully the 20 and the 200 will be the place where it bounces. But first bounce point should be here. Maybe it goes to 870. Maybe it even gets caught by this top. But really, I probably would make an entry. Oh man, you know what? I'm going to make that as the alert. Roughly 50% candle, and it's over that. Let me zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to go right there. I think that's a good line. I'll actually set my alert pretty much right on that. Let me know when we're at 971. Again, an alert is not an immediate buy notification, but it's definitely come check out the charts. You know what I mean? So look, on the daily, we're over all 5 of the moving averages. That's a beautiful thing. I will call this a break of the 200. We definitely break it with confirmation, and that's a good candle for a gap up break for sure. All right. As long as we can bounce on one of these two, being the 8 and the 20, that'd be beautiful. I actually really don't want to retest this 200. let's avoid that for another time. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, overall, I think AI looks a little better than this one. But yeah, neither look horrible. I'll say that much. Hey, I hope you're learning. Have a great one.